Hey, you guys. Ooh, you guys. Hey.
Good evening.
Y'all, I'm shocked. I want to say I'm shocked, but
Uh,
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. I'm going to stop lying. I'm not shocked. Hey, Amaya. Um, I feel like today's episode was kind of a little bit of a repeat from Friday. Did they show the same episode again?
they showed the first part from Friday. I was like, what in the world?
I
Y'all gonna
think
repeat it again?
I think one of the hey Amaya and Miss Queen Lieber. I think part of it is that because apparently CBS is not keeping up with Bold and the Beautiful's actual schedule.
Nope.
The tagline end of today's show, we got to see it on Friday because they posted it online. So I guess that's kind of sort of why it looks like a repeat to us who went to YouTube and watched it. So yeah, and so no, it's a different episode, but yeah, we just happen to already see part of it.
Had me rolling. Sheila in the car talking about something. You not getting away from me. Lee talking about some. Oh, can you stop trying to run me off the road, man? How about you just pull over?
It felt like they were talking to each other. I was like, are they talking to each other on the phone? Because their conversation, even though they together so well, I'm like, she got an ear, but are she talking to Sheila? Are they having this conversation? What is going on here? And then you hear that her hit the car, which, like Can said, I had that immediate thought. I hope people are paying attention because this is what it looks like when you're being pursued and ran off.
That's what I said. We done had a lot of talk in the last 20 some odd years on this show about vehicles and people getting killed. I need people who keep crying about how Thomas ran Emma off the road to pay close attention to what happens with Sheila and Lee. That is how you use your car to kill somebody.
You thought I wasn't gonna say nothing. They've been fucking with my baby for way too long for me not to post nothing.
I'm glad you did post it because I was like, see, I was thinking the very same thing. Like you heard the connection between the cars. And then the next thing maybe they ain't seen it because we just watched this clip, but then the next thing you know, it's a fiery end. Did she drive off the pier?
It looked like that's what it looked like.
Like she just
it looked like
how you come to a curve. Yeah, no. It looked like she hit one of them dividers, the highway divider, and went into a part of a lake, ocean or something. I don't know if it was a pier or not because it wasn't that very long.
That was like, and then y'all, it was raining. Why was she driving that fast and crazy?
Did y'all see my comment? I thought it never rains in Southern California. Why the hell?
Right, all of a sudden it's got rain today.
Why got rain? The drama.
Even the weather is in on it.
Exactly.
And I didn't know that Ford made Pinto trucks where it blow up at the back end. So the gas tank, so that's what happened.
Did you see that had me in stitches? I said, hold on. First of all, it's gonna blow up, and then in a rainstorm, where they do that at? I thought the whole car get wet.
God,
She over there driving in the daggone rain.
She ran off a pier. Look, you guys, I'm going to share this. We're going to watch this again because I refuse to sit here and let y'all believe that this woman just was driving on PCH. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. If only she had gave them people some damn ashes.
Bubbles, you gonna go to the mountaintop on them ashes.
I'm going with her.
And Kane Ashby's raggedy ass.
Look. Now I can support that.
That's how my life is fixing to be. Okay, y'all, can you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Make sure I got everybody on the screen. Okay. Now let's watch this bitch because I'm mad at her.
Yeah, I am.
a different clip.
Yeah, she got out there happy as a pig and shit.
This is when we found out Lee was a champion swimmer in college. That's the only thing that's gonna redeem her ass after she didn't get them people no ashes.
Happy as hell. Happy as a pig in slop.
So you are correct. That does look like the pier. It's short as hell. It ain't Santa Monica Pier, but it does look like a pier.
Can somebody tell me why she is driving down there on the pier?
I want to know where the rain came from. I want to know where the pier came from. And here's the other thing. The other thing is this. Sheila is out here settling damn scores. So what I think this is going to shape into, because now Finn is at the mercy of her crazy misery looking ass. Now what this is going to evolve into, aside from her being happy that she has Finn all to herself finally, she gonna be out here trying to settle scores with anybody she got a problem with whenever Finn ass is asleep.
And
I bet you money.
Wants the baby. Y'all, it hit me today. Sheila's always trying to take a baby, and we've been focusing on Hayes. Finn is the baby that she's stealing.
Mm-hmm.
She's stealing her baby back.
Mm-hmm.
She is stealing her grown ass near about 30 years
and she gonna get Mike to try to help her. And I hope that's when Jack come back and say the damn day, because if he don't do something, God dog it, what is you good for, damn it? At this point, I'm gonna need you to come on back on script ASAP. Help your baby out.
Well, see, because this is the thing. This whole thing is about to get really sketchy, because Lee was all, because the thing is, an important part of this is that I'm going to operate on the assumption that Lee is not dead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my marker down on that one. I think defying death is going to be a Finnegan family trait. That's my hope, and I'm going to ride that to the ground. So
I'm not really talking. She was a champion swimmer in college. Watch.
Champion swimmer, a scuba diver, something, pearl diver. I don't know. Maybe she dives for pearls on the weekend.
She learned how to swim at the YMCA during her college years.
Something. Somehow, some way, Lee is not dead. So here's the thing. Lee actually was able to take that call from Ridge. So officially on paper, that is going to be the last time anybody heard from her. So the problem is, though, the people have not been able to reliably get in contact with her. So my guess is when Jack shows his ass back up in LA from wherever the hell he is, I really do want an explanation for that.
Vacation island somewhere.
With his ragged ass.
So when I know your son didn't die and you ain't came back to town yet.
Watch it when he come back. He gonna look like a hobo. Watch.
So he gonna be looking for Lee, obviously. But the thing is, my thing is he gonna be able to find her? Because apparently nobody actually knows where she is physically. Sheila was able to track her down. So my guess is, I'm guessing that he's gonna try to track her down. One of two things: either he's gonna try to track her down and find out and come across Finn that way by tracking Lee back to her last known position at that air nab or wherever the hell it is she is. I don't know. Maybe she in the air nab that was on the beach or by the docks or something.
What happened today, I think that it's going to be where they're going to find Lee's truck in the ocean, and then they're going to alert Jack that she was killed. And Jack is going to come back and find out Sheila escaped all at the same time. And he going to find Sheila and have some questions. Did you kill my wife? And that's when he going to find Finn. I'm just saying, if it don't happen,
I think you're half right.
Right. If he doesn't save the day that way, then he going to come in on the tail end and find Finn with Sheila somewhere in underneath her rock where she was hiding all this time.
Because Sheila can't go back to the hotel. They watching the hotel where she's at, so that she can't go back there. Where's she gonna go?
Yeah, exactly.
She better go find her hut somewhere.
Amaya just posited an interesting idea that the person who actually ends up helping Lee ends up being Bill. Because remember, we still have that right place, right time spoiler. Maybe Bill out on his yacht. Maybe
Bill doesn't know. I mean, but you're not gonna. I don't know. Bill keeps his yacht in the Mediterranean, not the Pacific Ocean.
I don't know. Maybe he brought it back to sell. Who knows? We had a car catch on fire today because somebody hit the bumper. So anything's possible.
Anything is possible. You're right.
What he need to go do is go find his private detective that he claimed that he wanted to do this case.
And does Bill even know who Lee looked like? Like Bill wasn't at the wedding. I don't know if Bill have any interactions with Lee.
That don't make you know what she looked like. You know how they always end up saying they know people because somebody mentioned them or whatever. They saw him in a picture. He don't know her, but he know her.
When he was at the hospital after she got hit, Lee didn't come to the hospital because they wasn't even married then. And it's like, I don't know. He wasn't at the wedding. I don't know how they would explain it.
It just looks like Lee is going to be saved by somebody, but unless Jack has come back and we just don't know he's on the canvas, either Lee's saving herself or somebody else is saving her. Right now, I don't know if Lee had the capacity to save herself because old girl was not thinking straight in those last 10-15 minutes of her life.
So what's Sheila gonna do? Stand in and see if Lee gonna come back to shul?
No, she up there gloating because she was able to cross a name off her list. Right now, Sheila is living out her fantasy like this is Kill Bill and she is the bride. She is now able to draw lines through names instead of under them, and that pleases her to no doubt. And I don't think Lee's name is going to be the last one she tried to draw a line through.
Yeah. Did I not say on Twitter? Did I not say Sheila's gonna get her revenge to him when she gets escaped? Nobody wanted to believe me when I said they talk about some. Oh, Sheila ain't gonna escape. Sheila got help. She's stupid.
No. She is stupid, and she is gonna get vengeance because she basically swore it against Brooke, and she also swore it against Lee. And Lee, supposedly, as of right now, is sleeping with the damn fishes. So
ironically, she swore it against Steffi too.
Exactly.
Next target, Brooke.
Right. Exactly. So Steffi's off the canvas right now, and luckily Sheila does not know where she is. Something Amaya pointed out that is very true. You can tell where the show is starting to make cuts because of KKL not being around, because you saw that they said that he said when he went to go see Hope and Liam today, he said that he told Brooke, but we didn't get to see any of that. That didn't play out on screen, but the leaked script basically was about a scene of Ridge going to see Brooke to make sure that, she was okay, etc., and then leaving. So it's really, so you can tell that we're starting to get cuts in the script, because I just don't think that would be something that they wouldn't show. Ridge telling Brooke that Sheila was, out.
Did y'all see how he just knocked on the door? He ain't walk in like his wife be doing.
That's remarkable. Actually, a lot of people don't knock on that door.
Nobody ever does, if we're gonna be honest about it.
Them two sitting on the couch talk about some. Oh, Donna, it is Eric.
At least they weren't trying to have sex and got interrupted again, because I really thought that's where that was going. I thought they was gonna get interrupted for sex and Hope.
And didn't Sam say that Hope had another glass of wine today?
She had something. She had something because she was a little too hyped up.
Let me see. I'm gonna go back and see, because I was too busy listening to the hypocrisy flying out of people's mouths to pay too much attention to what was in their hands.
Not to say nothing. She went over there, like we all said, she was going to tell Liam, and now he gonna end up blabbing his mouth.
Well, it looks like the secret's gonna be busted before anybody else gets a chance to blab to anybody else at this damn rate. Though I will say today was just a day for worthless. And the only man who was worth a damn on the screen today was the one who was only partially conscious, who was looking for his wife. All the other men, they wasn't hitting on dead, because you had Carter and his foolishness. So which fool we want to talk about first, Carter or Eric?
Eric, that's what we call it last.
Yeah, because I got the most.
Let me know when y'all ready to hear what I got planned.
Yeah, we know you got a theory about this mess with Paris and them. So once we finish
This
talking about Eric,
fool.
we're going to get to your theory, Can.
I'm done. I'm done.
But we'll start with
Eric
Eric's
at this point.
disgusting ass first.
I'm done with Eric at this point, sir. So you telling me you're listening to your what is Hope basically? The hoe. Let's just call
His ex-wife's child. That's not his.
The
Not
hoe.
even his stepchild. So it's
Well, the princess is a
whatever.
hoe, basically. You are literally over here listening to her talking about some. Oh, make a decision about your marriage, but then Quinn comes home and was like, "I'm worried about Carter," and you just looking at her like, "You still worried about Carter? This is your marriage, sir. That's both y'all marriage, you idiot."
That's part of what the problem is. I'm
tired.
I'm tired. I'm tired of him too. Because here's the thing. First of all, one, Quinn tried to have real talk with him. That was bad enough. She really wanted to try to have a conversation with him because she knows whatever's going on with them is jacked the F up. So she tried to have. Sure enough, I just saw it. Oh yeah, they was Liam and Hope was sitting up there with red wine. Okay, yes, alcohol is confirmed. Okay, back to Eric. I am trying to get this alcoholism story on track. Okay, so Eric's sitting up here, and then he with that big martini. When Quinn comes home, he's sitting up there thinking about what Hope said. But this is the thing: you're thinking about it, but you're not actually listening. Because what you were supposed to do, since we all know he checked out of this marriage, you were supposed to tell your wife that y'all were not working out and that it needed to be over. Technically, he should tell her that he's been screwing down all this time behind her back. But if he didn't tell her that, he at least needed to tell her that they was done. But the thing is, you know what's gonna stop him from doing that? The fact that she came in that house upset about Carter. Him and that damn nauseating ego that he has. That is what's gonna stop him from telling her. Because the thing is, she's concerned. She is legitimately concerned that Carter is about to ruin his life. And she doesn't want to really talk about Carter with him because she knows it's a sensitive subject considering their past. But I'm sitting up here like, Eric, why can't she be concerned about Carter? Because you're not concerned about her. You're not concerned about nothing but pickleball.
And see, that's the thing.
You mean screwing Donna with honey?
It just goes to show the level of security and insecurity. He is insecure and she is supposedly very secure. And if you can go and talk to your partner about anything, even if it's some topics that's going to make them uncomfortable, you have nothing to hide. He's not talking to her about none of this shit he doing with Donna. He insecure on all levels. So my thing is this. She doing the right thing. He has done the wrong thing the entire time. And he's still going to continue to do the wrong thing. So yeah, you may have a point because she done stepped out of her comfort zone, but she doing the right thing, telling him how she really feel about his situation with Paris. That will give him more ammo and more fuel to his fire to keep doing what he's been trying to do to her until he get busted.
Exactly.
She's been trying to fight for that marriage for how long now, and he's still checked out. I'm sorry. Give her divorce papers already.
And she's trying to have a dialogue with him about it.
It's not no fight when you fighting by yourself. And he checked out a long time ago. And that's the whole point, is that he's doing this to punish her. And that's it. It's like you holding her hostage in a marriage you don't want. He don't want to be married to her, but he gonna hold her hostage in it.
Like a damn egomaniac. He made me sick today because I'm like, first of all, one, I hate to see strong, prideful women bust themselves down for worthless ass men.
Exactly.
And that's what Quinn has been doing for months. She has been purposefully humbling herself.
Yes.
Because she feels that fighting for her marriage is worth humbling herself. Except Eric's not worth any of that effort because he's not putting out any effort whatsoever. The only effort he's putting out is making sure he can get a room over at the health club so he can go play Tickle the Pickle with Donna the Tramp.
You mean Honey the Tramp, actually.
Winnie the Pooh.
And when she catches them, I hope she takes off the shoes and Bridget just sits there and watch.
I don't know if anybody gonna get a
point
beating,
and
but I
laugh
wish
and
they
run.
would.
I want her to point, laugh, and go the opposite direction.
Unfortunately, it won't go down that way because that's the thing with Eric. I'm like, Eric, the man, and that's the thing that was mirroring both of them today, both Carter and Eric, was that the women in their lives were trying to have honest conversations with them, and they could not give them that same honesty back. Eric wasn't even trying. Like when Quinn reached for him, he went to go sip that damn martini. I would have slapped that glass out his old fogey hand so quick.
That's what he just said.
That's what he's been doing to her a lot lately. Like,
hands so quick. That's what he just said.
But he's sitting up there. But while she not there, he's sitting up there looking at her portrait like, should I stay in this marriage or should I go? You might want to decide to go because as long
He
as
already gone.
I think he's looking at that portrait as a means of like a nanny boo boo. Like I'm so tired of it being up there. I'm ready for it to get snatched down. That's what it seemed like to me. I don't.
That's the thing. Eric is gone, but he's just too much of a chicken shit to say it. Because look, you heard what he said. You heard what he said. Hey, Renee Glover, you heard what he said to Quinn. He's like, of course you have a right to say that. This is your marriage. What do you mean it's her marriage? Mm-hmm. You talking about the marriage like you're talking about cars, like it's her vehicle, like she has her car and you have your car. No, she's not in the marriage by herself, but you're talking about it like she is. He's already done. He's already gone. He's just too chicken shit to say it.
Yep, exactly.
And it's disgusting. I was like,
he's the patriarch of the entire family. Some example, you are.
No he ain't no patriarch no more. He's been exiled from that family too. He don't
care about Eric.
He didn't even come see his own granddaughter after she got out of the hospital.
Yeah, he ain't gonna check on nobody. He ain't gonna check on the grandbabies, the great grandbabies, nobody. He just want to go, like you said, take the pickle, keeping his appointments and shit. Like it's really life and death.
Where he gonna keep his appointments when Quinn finally figures out and she was like, time to go. See ya. I want this. They'll put the shares up there with it.
I only hope that they give us what we want in that aspect because if Quinn is just happy to get out of this,
be her lawyer.
No. Carter cannot be her lawyer. She can go find Justin or some other unnamed person. Carter is a complete damn train wreck. Okay, I would not trust Carter to write me a power of attorney right now, let alone handle a divorce to get some damn assets out of an old bastard's hands for me.
He can write me a cease or desist letter.
Carter can't write me a permission slip. He can't do nothing right now because the level of idiocy that he is currently displaying. I swear, I know it wouldn't get him disbarred, but guess what? I would not be asking him to do a damn thing for me.
But here's a question. Here's a question we need to ask. Didn't Quinn say, give me back the ring? And he still got it?
Yes, he ran off with it like it was a freebie.
Like she didn't say you could have it. She just told you.
Here's the thing. They work at a fashion house. So I know that based on how fashion houses are portrayed in fiction, that there are often perks to working in a fashion house, that you can get a lot of free samples, that you can get a lot of irregular clothes if they have them, that that's swag. You get swag. That's what you get in the fashion industry.
That's a hell of a free sample.
But that's not what the hell that ring is, okay? Nobody is going to tell me that the ring that Quinn was just admiring so much that she had worked on because she had found just the right gem for it, and saying it was going to make some woman very happy someday, you are not going to tell me that constitutes work swag. Just no, no.
What got me and I was gonna cry. When she was on the verge of crying, telling Carter, give me the ring. Like, I was about to cry. I was having a moment. I was like, girl, don't do it. Did y'all catch that part?
Yes, and the part that I'm trying to get is this: even if Carter had deluded himself, oh hey Lumi, even if Carter had deluded himself into thinking that this BS he's doing is the right move, why do you think looking at a ring on Paris's finger that Quinn made herself is going to be part of you turning the page? Because every time you look at the damn ring, you're going to think about Quinn. What kind of stupid? I was like, I can't.
He talking about some. I'm trying to forget Quinn, but sir, you took the ring that she made that she didn't tell you can have, gave it to Paris, and here go Paris. Oh my God, I've been waiting for this.
So when they get married on the beach, is he gonna have flashes of Quinn while he's sliding her ring on her finger?
I hope he says Quinn's name instead of Paris's name.
Oh, you want him to pull a Ross?
I want him to
Rachel. I mean,
to be my lovely wedded wife. To heaven, to home. I want him to go through all them damn vows just like he didn't even know he said her name with everybody looking shocked as hell. Like, what did he do?
Do you believe that these two should be married? And then here comes his worst nightmare.
Oh, Bubbles, is Lumi waiting to be left back in? She said that the app closed on her.
Hold on a second. Okay, girl. I got you. Lumi.
Okay. So it was just, I'm like, Carter, you are so out of, and the thing is, when I said that him and Eric were both on the same page today, Paris was dubious about what he was saying. She really was. And she asked him, is this what you really want? What did he say? Not yes, not no. He said, this is what I need. Way to dodge the question, Carter. Way to dodge the question.
Well, she didn't ask him to clarify. She was happy with that answer.
She ain't catch on his answers.
He's been giving her all kind of answers like that lately.
So I don't even know.
Carter started to sound like Liam back in 2018. Like, you know how like Liam was like, oh, I need to be married to feel good, to feel secure. That's how Carter's starting to sound like, oh, I need to be married because I feel like I need to move on.
Yeah, you got to take a time bomb.
Yeah, but the problem is he's just never he's never gonna be happy.
He ain't gonna be happy with Paris. Watch.
No, he's not gonna be happy with Paris. If they even really get married, because I promise you, if he don't call her by Quinn's name up here at this damn altar, I don't even want to see
it. Her walking down the aisle, Quinn.
If he don't say Quinn's name at some point during the ceremony when he's supposed to say Paris's name, I don't even want to watch it. I'm not gonna care.
I want to see her face crack into a million pieces when it happened, though, because my thing is this: it's like, honey, first of all, he came flying in there with a ring. It's not even in a box, okay?
Oh my God. How you gonna just open your ring and time out? Let's get married. Where's the damn box, Carter?
He don't open that damn ring up out the damn lollipop machine. That's what it looked like. Opening up his hand like he just popped open a Cracker Jack box and like, oh, look what I found.
I said that this ain't the most immature high school shit I have ever seen in my life. Actually, beneath high school, that's some elementary school. Do you like me? Check yes or no. I like you kind of shit.
Get married in the backyard with the dog as the best man and shit.
He bet not ask Eric, can I use your house to get married?
No, they're getting married I think they're getting married on the beach, probably. So I don't think he's gonna want to do it there. Plus, it looks like they're trying to fast track it so they wouldn't even have time to catch up with Eric because he's too busy getting his pickle tickled to talk to anybody about anything, Forrester related or otherwise.
I just hope for Eric, he literally sits there and gets karma, because like he could have just ended it all with Quinn and then moved on with Donna. I really want that to fall apart.
His karma's coming.
I haven't seen anything that says that with spoilers.
Oh, Quinn is coming to check on him. Her and Bridget.
Yeah, but I don't really see her like she just looks from what I can see from the spoilers, it looks like she's shocked and then she's just gonna roll out and then go find Carter. Like, oh, I'm free. The chains are broken, you know?
We need
Well,
old Quinn back. This new reform
well-
Quinn is getting on my nerves. She got to go.
Well, what I'm hoping happens is that the kind of repercussions that Eric faces are the kind of repercussions that come with the actual dissolution of the marriage itself. So what I'm hoping is that once this whole thing kind of blows up in Quinn's face, unfortunately, she's going to find out her husband is a faithless POS at the same time that Carter's off to marry somebody he doesn't love with the damn ring she made on top of that. So what I'm hoping that means at the end of the day is that once those two events click in place, because we still don't know for certain if Paris and Carter managed to actually get married. If those two events click in place at the same time, if I was Quinn, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to lose that love right now, but I'm not about to be a loser in this divorce. Run me your shit. As much of it as I could take.
It actually might make her bitter enough to go after Eric's assets.
I would be bitter. I mean, because I'm serious. What woman is not going to be bitter in this particular situation? This isn't just about the fact that your marriage fell apart and you cheated and things just couldn't get back to where it is. He has been actively lying to her in her face for quite some time. And when the pickleball connection gets made, she's going to realize just how badly he's been lying to her.
It's not even.
Wait.
I mean, he's been lying from the get-go, hasn't he? Because he lied about his ED. Instead of, like, he just kept her distance from her, and he lied and didn't tell her about his ED. It made her miserable for that long time. And
I think the ED was real. He could not get it up for Quinn because of her involvement with Brooke's bullshit. But he was fine with getting it up for Dawn. So the problem was never about the ED. The problem was subliminally he did not want Quinn anymore, and that's how it manifested. Because Donna just looking at him, licking honey off her fingers, and he's oingo boingo. But Quinn just about plying him with alcohol and blowing on his old wrinkly old man neck, trying to get a rise out of him. He doesn't want to rise for her. He hasn't been lying about the ED. He just ain't wanted her.
I'm not talking about him lying about the ED. I'm saying, like, he's been lying about, like, not telling her about the ED, you know, because he just kept a distance from her and then basically didn't tell her about the ED altogether and made her feel like she was just not, you know, wanted as a woman when he could have just said that altogether. To me, Eric started all this in motion from the get-go.
Abaya said it was situational ED.
Exactly. That's the point. And he didn't lie to her about the ED and to keep her away. He did not want her, and he just didn't know how to say, I don't want you. It became, oh, well, I had ED and I didn't know how to tell you. So I let you go off and have an affair with this man that you just happened to fall in love with. Like, that's some bullshit.
And he's still mad about that.
Just say off my ex-wife. Just be real about it.
Yeah, I remember what Lumi is talking about, because I do remember him trying to make her feel like she's the root of his problem, and like he was just disgusted by how involved she was with Brooke. So it's like he can't get intimate with her, and he can't just, you know, be attracted to her no more. So he made it seem like it was all on her.
And it really wasn't
the whole problem.
But my issue with him isn't that. It's just like you know, just like what Bubble said, like he didn't come forward and say it. And I don't really think he knew how. It's not that he didn't know how to say it. It's the fact that Eric didn't want to be alone, so he just kept Quinn around because he didn't want to be alone.
Right.
You know,
he still don't want to be alone.
He wasn't gonna be alone. Donna's been hanging around him forever. He was never gonna be alone. She was always throwing herself at him. So if he didn't want to be alone, all he had to do was dial 1-800-HOGAN and call up his favorite little honey mistress, and she would have ran right over at the drop of the hat. She's been telling him this during this whole affair. Oh, Eric, I never stopped loving you. I'll do anything for you. I wish we could get back to where we used to be. She has said this like it's her mantra and prayer every day. Oh, Eric, if we could just be together. Bitch, he don't want you.
He didn't want
his wife rather than picked up with you, but decided to pick up with you because he wants to punish his wife. I hope Quinn
exactly.
And that's true. And now he's at the point where just because he's able to get a stiffy in his pants, he lost his balls because he can't fix his lips to say, "Hey, it's over between us." He'd rather just hold on to Quinn and make her miserable.
Right.
Exactly. And that's the awful part.
And that's my point. Like, if she, but you know what the funny thing about it is, that kind of puts Carter in between a rock and a hard place, though. Because, like, what if she can actually get with Carter in the end, you know, right? And then goes after Eric's asset. Carter works for Forrester Creations, right? And then he's with Quinn. And then that's like a conflict of interest for a lawyer.
No, he wouldn't be. That's why I say Carter can't be her lawyer. If he's not her lawyer, then it's not a conflict.
True.
Everything Carter has done in the past 10 years has been a conflict of somebody's interest. It might as well be his turn to conflict his own damn interest.
Fact.
True, it would be kind of interesting to see Carter.
He can't marry nobody and they stay together. Any one of his marriages fall apart within a year.
Well, he was trying to marry Zoe. He went from trying to marry Zoe.
They get divorced. Or they going through some sort of annulment. Like, we just got the papers down to the clerk's office. Y'all done already? They ain't even filed your marriage and it's over. Like, slow down.
I feel like that.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of that, you have it's the fact that Carter is sitting up at night, and this is the thing. Carter knows the right thing. Carter knows where his heart really is and where it really is, and he's very aware of that. Okay. Sir, you cannot be in an office telling one woman how much you want her, then texting Paris. He texted Paris. He texted her to ask her to come over to Forrester to see him. And then telling her that you're ready to move forward with her. Is there not something, do you not see what's wrong with that?
No, because Carter seems to be stuck on stupid like Liam is.
The sad fact is this: is that I despise Liam with the fire of a billion suns. Okay, like how Bubbles feels about Kane Ashby, that's usually how I feel about Liam. But Carter is up here making Liam look like less of a POS than he normally is, and that's just hurting my soul.
I don't know, because
it doesn't make him look good like at all. Like anytime somebody makes Liam look good,
it upsets me. Yes, it upsets me deeply because Liam is Liam's a piece of gum off the bottom of my shoe.
Because see, that's the problem, because I don't really see like Carter looking as bad as Liam. Because like you only have to look at Liam's rap sheet in comparison to Carter's to sit there and realize Carter doesn't look nearly as bad. And then he's just starting to open that door.
The thing in this particular thing that makes him look terrible, at least in comparison to Liam, is the same thing that makes Eric look like shit when it comes down to this affair thing: intent. He knows he does not love Paris. I hate Liam, but I will give him that. He legitimately thinks he's in love with two women. He really thinks that. He believes that to the core of his soul. It is part and parcel of what that bastard is built of. The fact that he loves two women, and he believes it down to the end of the line. Carter has no such belief. He knows he loves Quinn, and he knows he does not love Paris. That's the part that I can't get with, because that's trash. You're asking this girl to marry you. You're making all these grand statements about turning the page and you and her and your future together, and you're ready to start it. But you know that you have a burning, yearning, out of control passion for another woman. And were it not for the fact that you could not have her, you would not be saying what you're saying to this other person. That's low down.
Just like when Steffi moved on with Finn. Look what Liam was doing. He was over there being married, still trying to. Oh, Steffi, I still want to have you on the side just in case Hope try to hurt me.
Cock blocking his ex-wife future endeavors.
Oh, he had ego problems.
See, my problem at this, I guess I just don't feel bad for Paris because like she just came with the arrogance. Like she was just like, oh, I'm gonna make trouble if you get in the way of me, Carter and I, basically, subliminally to Quinn the entire
Zoe said
time.
she was crazy. Zoe said she was crazy. Yeah, I just didn't see it
Y'all
until
sit
now.
up there threatening her wedding, her vow renewal. She sitting up there threatening Quinn like she had big balls then.
See, but here's the thing that's crazy about that is that Carter was talking all this yin about how worried he was about what Paris would do to Quinn's marriage, and the thing is, Paris ain't this ever since her being that little smart ass that she was in the Forrester office when Quinn and Eric walked in. Aside from that, she ain't did nothing, no, bro. And you heard what she said today. Before, if you had asked me earlier today, I wouldn't have said that we was gonna get together based on what you said. So no, she still wanted Carter, and she was still gonna pursue him. But she actually did comprehend what he was saying previously about them not being together. She was going to fight it, but she understood that, that's where he was coming from. She was still going to try to get with him anyway. But I'm like, so as far as I'm concerned, they're both a mess, Paris and Carter, and they both are doing shit right now that they don't have to do. Carter should not be asking her to marry him, and she should not be saying yes. But the problem is, she wants to be right. That's part of what her issue is. Her issue is she wants to be right about her attraction to Carter, and she wants her mama to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them need to go see Taylor.
This fight with her mama this coming week, supposedly.
Oh yes, and that's the thing. You saw at the promo. She said nothing is gonna stop this wedding, and the spoiler specifically said she was gonna pick a fight with her mother over this, because the thing is, and I'll admit it, because everyone's a little guilty of it at some point in their life, usually when they're younger. We like to be right and for our parents to be wrong, especially if it's something where our parents were dyed in the wool 100% certain that they knew what the hell they were talking about. It feels good to come out on top, at least in your youth, and be like, well, see, no, I was the one who was right, and you were the one who was what? Wrong. I think Paris, in her immaturity, because that's the main thing, Paris is too immature to be anybody's wife, not just Carter's. And in her immaturity of fighting with her mother about, her being grown and knowing what's right for her, is that a part of her is so caught up in wanting to be right and for her mother to be wrong that she's not paying attention to all the red flags that are raining down on her from hell. And she's going to pay for it.
That's why I don't feel bad for her. I don't know why. I just cannot muster any sympathy for this girl. I do not have any. Like, the stupidity alone makes it hard for me to muster any type of sympathy for Paris. Like you said, like all the red flags are there. You'd have to be really stupid not to see the stop sign that's in front of you and not turn around. Carter is the obvious. He can't hide it. He's just not good at it. I mean, even when he lies, he's not good at it. It's worse than Ridge when he lies.
Girl, because she reminds me way too much of Brooke in her younger days. So it's just not something I'm ever going to snatch away from and ever be able to accept and like. So since y'all talking about this topic, and before I forget.
Oh yeah, what was your theory, Can? You
so what if both scenarios happen? What if they do get married, but Quinn comes in and she pleads her case to Carter, and Carter finds out that she is off the hook and he wants to get an immediate annulment. So they try to get the annulment and everything, but in the meantime, Paris finds out she's pregnant. So instead of her telling Carter that she's pregnant, she leaves. I think that's what's going to happen, because the only reason, and I'll elaborate more in a second. I think Paris is going to leave. Now, I did say that she might trap him in a marriage with the baby, but I got to thinking, no, that's not really good enough. What if he actually gets this girl pregnant before they get married? They have sex, whatever, whoa. And Quinn saves the day. She comes and tells him, and he wants, after they get married on the beach, oh, we just got married. Get an annulment. They get the annulment. In the meantime, he has no idea. Paris didn't know. But as she's going to sign the paper, she's like, you know what? Let me take a pregnancy test. Just like when Steffi took a pregnancy test, she finds out she's pregnant. She gets the bad news because she goes and she spies Hope and Liam on the bed, so she don't tell Liam. It's the same shit possibly could happen. She's going to leave. And the only reason why I think Paris might leave script is because the actress, Diamond White, she's doing voiceovers for a whole nother show. And I don't know if she's going to stay on full time as Paris anymore, because let's face it, that's a lot more money doing for Disney than what she's doing now.
Yeah, voice acting does bring in a lot of money. Just look at Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
If Paris pull a Steffi, I'll be happy because we don't got to see her for a while.
Because that'll get him what everybody said. Carter been wanting a kid, He will have a child and won't even know it. And that would be able to write her back in the script later. Like, it's not to say that she gonna be gone all the time, like Flo has obviously been gone off script way too long.
You know,
but I think maybe she'll come back later, or maybe Zoe will.
Well, I was kind of hoping Zoe would come back pregnant.
Mama
know,
Grace be calling Zoe from Paris, be like, can you come back to LA real quick? I need your help.
That's what Sam was saying. But the only thing I have with that problem would be is that they said that she was some big time model over there, and she wasn't taking no breaks. Like, she left LA, went straight to fashion world over there on the other side of the world, and she been hot ever since. I don't hear them saying that she had no downtime after she left LA. That's my only thing why I said it would be hard to explain, because they already explained it away that she's doing so good in Europe. She's this big time supermodel over there, and I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, it's not like Cardi B didn't hide her baby bump when she was doing half her music videos. So at the end of the day, it can be done, where you can keep it a secret to a certain extent.
And before she left, she was wearing some hideous dresses. Those dresses were hideous.
Like a Christmas tree. Y'all, they really had her upside down.
That
woman,
dress,
I honestly think that Paris girl, they must have gotten into a fight, and she just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna dress you like whatever.
Yeah. I don't.
And they did.
Speaking of dressing people,
go ahead, Lemmy.
Did anybody sitting there seeing those tweets of like what they dressed Zoe in, and then they compared it to like what they dressed Hope in these last few weeks?
They've been dressing Hope bad ever since the new Hope came in. Like,
actually, I don't know. First it was boho. Then it was,
2 weeks ago, Hope wasn't looking bad. She was looking nice.
She was looking pretty good.
Some damn shorts and the cowboy had them boots. That's the only outfit that she was heroines lately.
Well, the day has not changed, so at least they took that, since she's indoors, at least they took the hat off, so at least that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Y'all keep talking about Hope dressing like a cowgirl. That's her aesthetic. Do you remember Halloween? She went dressed as a damn
That's what I said.
That's her thing. She likes it.
How are you gonna dress like a cowgirl? I'm not trying to be harsh or anything. It's just, she grew up in the city, and she's literally not that girl. You
should see how those people go to Coachella and be looking. They be looking like.
And y'all keep forgetting this girl went to clown college. So this is what clowns do.
What she need to go do is go find Brooks' horse and go ride it.
Now, what I will say,
instead of being in everybody else's business.
So what I will say is that the hat did make it worse. It looked taking the hat off relieved like 35% of the problem. If they switch out the shoes, there's hope for her. But based on what we saw today and what we're going to see, probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow is one of those hearings, so we are probably going to be preempted.
Tomorrow on Thursday.
Yeah,
tomorrow on Thursday. So we are going to be all kinds of off schedule on this. So we're not going to probably get a day change until probably damn near third Friday. It's probably not going to be another day till Friday at this rate.
That's why they need to do these hearings during a Saturday or something, because that's throwing off everybody's time.
Honestly, they need to just do a double inset and said we're having a Bold and the Beautiful special, an hour of Bold and the Beautiful, and show us 2 episodes and get this caught up. But they ain't about to do that.
You have nice things like that.
Or what they could do, just put it on YouTube and then just let us watch TV.
Yeah, put it on Paramount Plus first, but why don't they put it on at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning anymore like they used to? When we would miss the show in the morning and the afternoon, they'll put it on in the midnight hour. They don't do no stuff like that no more.
Just like today in California, they missed it and they got to watch it at 12:30.
But that's because the rest of us got it. But no offense to Wayne Brady, but I say let's make a deal for a few days. It's all right. I like Wayne. I really do. But we could bump it.
Push back the talk. Nobody really watches that.
Honestly, if I'm
back
telling
the talk and Price is Right.
Price Right too. And the Price is Right. Y'all coming for CBS's whole daytime live?
I know they're gonna be like saying. I know it's CBS saying y'all going too damn far. What's next? Take off Young and the Restless.
Or they could just, they could just put the hearings on at 3 o'clock
in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Put it on at 2 o'clock. Turn off the talk. Nobody really watches that.
But see, my thing is, why don't they put the stuff on news channels? Don't nobody want to watch that on regular TV all the time?
Because nobody would watch the news channels.
That's not our problem. And it's not even something. Even if you don't have cable, everybody got to have some type of entity,
the digital
antenna or something.
Hey,
put it on NPR. Put it on PBS.
Hold on, baby. Let me tell you. I'm gonna use my degree that I paid all this money for in college right now and tell you something. ABC, NBC, CBS are broadcast regular channels. They started out as radio shows. That is where the news always comes from. That is never going to change. I don't care how many cable news networks there are. I don't care how many apps for the news there are. NPR is not acceptable because everybody don't get NPR. When you have an antenna, the basic stations that you get are NBC, CBS, ABC. Did I listen to NBC, CBS, ABC? That's it. That's what you get.
When you get PBS, you get PBS.
But PBS, you don't understand.
PBS is public broadcasting.
Right.
That's public broadcasting, and that is dependent on donations.
Grants and donations.
Grants. That's not the same thing as saying the CBS, NBC, and NBC, ABC, and CBS are the pillars of media. They started in radio. We wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for them. So they are never going to veer away from being the bringers of the news because that's what they have always done. We got 3 different ABC channels here. We got 3 different CBSs.
Yeah.
It always goes to the main because even if you don't have nothing, you can still get CBS on the radio. You can still get ABC on the radio. And in some places, you can still get NBC on the radio. You're not going to get NPR on the radio. You're not going to get PBS on the radio. You're not going to get C-SPAN on the radio. Those are our life or death anchors right there. If everything else goes to shit, we are still going to have somebody from CBS, NBC, or ABC out here in these streets giving y'all the news, and you can turn on the radio and still get that. You're never going to get that with nothing else. I don't care how much money you donate to PBS. When the shit goes down, they're off. You know why? Because your donations didn't cover sending somebody over to do what CBS does. That shit been grandfathered in with them. It's always going to be that. That's the bedrock. That's the triumvirate. That's it. When we go back to basics, when they blow this shit out of the water, that's all you're gonna have left is them three right there. So the news has to come through those three channels because you got old people at home that are on fixed budgets. They're not gonna spend the extra money to get bumped up to watch NPR. They're not going to spend the money to get bumped up to watch anything other than what they going to get for free and what they getting on their satellite. I get a lot of channels on my satellite, but you know what? CBS, ABC, NBC, they all have the ability to be local and in your living room telling you what you need for your area. NPR don't know what you're doing over there in your hometown. They not sending nobody there. So that's why it has to be that way. It irritates me, but there's a reason for it, and it's an important reason. If that shit goes down, you might as well just throw the hat in. We're done. When those three go, we're done.
Because the last time we got lucky when they showed Bold and Beautiful was on the impeachment trial last year, because we kept trying to say, we don't want to watch the impeachment trial, CBS.
No,
and then CBS finally listened.
That's part of the American process.
Well, I mean, because here's the thing. I don't mind the hearings because, yes, they do need to happen. I just wish they would either do it earlier or later and not so much smack dab in the middle of the day. Also, I will say this much for CBS, at least they didn't lie to us. ABC and NBC flat out lied to their people because the people who watch GH were pissed because it was in the NPR article that ABC and NBC were not going to air the hearings on their regular broadcasting channels, that they were going to put it on their news. Yeah, on their news channels. That's not what they did. It ended up on the regular channels. So I give it a choice. I'd rather CBS not lie to us about such things.
Right. And see, that's what happened. Them people knew that their people was going to be all crazy. So they lied and told them, we're going to put this on one of our secondary channels. They can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't do that. They got agreements with the FCC. You can't do that. So, yeah, they set their people up for disappointment.
They also aired it. They also aired just because, like, they also take in consideration of ratings as well. There's no way that people are not just going to watch these hearings. Like, even if you hate it, there's always going to be a viewer set for it. Yeah. So there's no way they're going to miss on the news for that. You can always put the episode of, like, GH on their app or something else and pick it up later. They know this. It's not, for them, the main, this is why you have, like, in most states, you have what's called, like, the subsets of, like, news and everything. So you have, like, ABC Houston or CBS Houston or, like, local say, affiliates. Like, yes, basically that. It keeps them wired to their big networks. There's no way they weren't going to cover it whatsoever.
Right. Not to mention that soaps, the whole thing, soaps get their money from advertising. Okay. Mm-hmm. The advertisers because that's how soaps started. Advertisers pay money to have their ads run during soap operas. Okay. So unfortunately, not airing on the whole reason they can't just show it late at night or something is because those ads are being run for exposure. They're being run because they want them to be seen. They're paying for daytime prices for that stuff to be seen in the daytime where people are most likely going to see it. Those advertisers are not going to thank Liberty Bibbity is not going to thank Bold and Beautiful for running the show at 2 a.m. When they're supposed to be running it in the middle of the day because they're not getting the exposure that they paid for. It's like saying somebody, hey, I ordered something on the lunchtime menu. Why the hell you up here with the 24-hour menu telling me I can't get no fries this late because the grease is shut down?
But they will supplement for that because if you advertise that you're going to miss today's show at the regular time, but it will be on this time. The viewers will go on the same time that they put out there. If it's at 2:00 in the morning, the same people that was gonna watch it at 12:30 gonna watch it at 2:00 in the morning.
The money is different.
Money is different. They're paying for daytime. They don't. They can't take. Yeah, they can't take the daytime money and then give them an alternative because that's not what they paid for.
Yeah,
now, they will rebroadcast things late, like because I live in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, like on Mardi Gras Day. There are no soaps playing in southeastern Louisiana. They're showing the parades around town. So they do broadcast the soaps at like 2:00 in the morning for those specific events, but that's only because the affiliates here aren't carrying it because of local coverage. But everybody else is still getting it. I mean, I think that's like the only circumstance that they'll do that in. At least I
mean, wasn't it the reason why back in like the early 2000s they came up with that? What was it? That alternative channel for soap operas? Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes, I miss SoapNet desperately.
So that like when the days that the episodes had to be like, you know, commended for like something that the news stations had to pick up, they could put the episodes on there. I mean, whatever happened to that channel?
Well, that's not entirely why they started. They started mostly because that was back when they were getting ready to end a lot of the soaps. And so soaps were showing each day's episode later that night in case you missed it. And I don't think all the soaps participated. It was just certain ones because I think people were looking for Passions to be over there, and Passions never made it to the.
It was SoapNet was an ABC product, so originally it was the ABC soaps they carried. Eventually, they worked out some kind of deal to carry to do rebroadcast for the other ones, but that almost didn't happen until like the last few years of the damn channel. Honestly. All of this mess was caused by OJ and his damn trial knocking the soaps off the air for a year anyway. So he left us in a bad way.
We're not going to put that on OJ because that was back in the 90s when I was in college. If we want to blame somebody, we're going to blame the writer's strike because the writers all went on strike and got all of our good scripted TV got replaced with bullshit reality shows. That's how
amen to that.
You're right about that.
Kardashians and all these other bullshit reality, like everything came to a they just gave us a bunch of trash TV, and the writers never really got back on track after that. I don't blame OJ. We had good TV back there in the 90s. Bill Bell was still hanging on. We had good. I was rushing home from classes to go to the student room to watch TV. We had good shows back then when OJ was on the loose. But the writer's strike is what killed daytime TV. Well, the writer's strike is what killed scripted TV because we lost a lot of good nighttime shows too.
I don't remember what actually ended because like I never understood what ended Guiding Light more than anything. Because like Guiding Light it hit that one type of story they had, and then right after they killed Tammy, it just kind of went downhill right after that. And I was like, why are they changing so much on the set budget wise? Why did they get cut? And all of a sudden, like, you know, 2 years later the show got canceled.
Well, Guiding Light was the Procter Gamble soap. That was like, I guess you could say it was kind of like the blueprint for some of the earlier soaps because that's how it used to work, was that, you know, soaps used to be actually sponsored, at least the earlier ones like Guiding Light, because I want to say Guiding Light is like the longest running soap in American history.
I think it was like 70 years, wasn't it?
72 years.
Right. So that was actually a soap that was actually sponsored by corporate America because it actually was done by Procter and Gamble. Like these days we have production companies and stuff that do all of that, or diversified entertainment companies or something. But Procter and Gamble, a consumer company, actually was responsible for Guiding Light. All I remember about it vaguely was that CBS was not going to renew it, and then that was just that. And once they said they weren't going to renew it, it's not like how it is these days where your shows get canceled and you can, maybe live on Netflix or Hulu or something, and you can shop it around. That wasn't even a thing back then.
I wonder if soaps actually can make that happen. Like, now like pushing themselves towards streaming services. I mean, like I was so young when Guiding Light canceled because I was only 12 years old when it was canceled.
See, that's the thing. All My Children and I think One Life to Live tried to do that. And wait, what was that?
It was miserably done on Hulu.
Yeah, it was.
Well, Hulu wasn't taking that seriously, though.
It just ended up being kind of a disaster.
Yeah, because you have to pay for those subscriptions, and if you pay for, it's a whole nother different type of monster, in my opinion. I don't know. It just seemed like the quality of the story went down. It seemed very generic. It didn't seem like.
Well, I didn't All My Children one because I don't know. The guy who plays Ben on Days of Our Lives was on the All My Children reboot for Hulu. And I guess that's where I got my dislike for him ultimately, because I don't know. He just came off as a very generic actor for me. And I'm not big on this. So it didn't help when years later he comes back on Days of Our Lives and he's playing Ben, and then he turns out to be a serial killer. So like Hulu's version of it really kind of destroyed that for me a little bit.
It was well, I will tell you this, the fact that the online versions of All My Children and One Life to Live, once they were canceled, once ABC chose not to, renew their contracts, that was Prospect Park's fault, because money talks and bullshit runs the marathon when it comes down to soaps. And the fact of the matter was, the money was not there for them to produce the same quality of show that they had before. Plus, they couldn't even pin down all the same actors. It was just, I remember it just being so confusing and such a mess that when they finally decided to just, can it and say that, we're done, I was somewhat relieved, because I was like, you know what? There are worse things than, having your show canceled. It's your show living on to become what it turned into online. Whew.
Well, I can't really say that I wasn't disappointed, because like One Life to Live made me very angry towards the end, mostly because like when they did bring, I can't remember what his name. When they did bring, the original Todd, maybe I can't remember what his name is right now.
Roger.
Roger. When they brought him back,
Hardwick or something, yeah.
When they brought him back as Todd, and then they said Trevor St. John, I think that's what it is, Trevor St. John, whatever. He was playing. They made him Victor and everything like that. Like they treated Victor like he was this ultimate victim, but didn't really treat, like Todd like he was a victim. He got locked away all these years, and I don't think that really helped their storytelling at all to endear a lot of people, because like there was a lot of heat, going on back then online. People were not happy the way Roger's character was being treated on the series, and sometimes I believe that writers are just kind of tone deaf.
They are. They do what they want. That's why General Hospital got half the damn roster on there right now. Which I'm sorry.
They don't know what to do with Roger on that show.
Don't know. Roger just diarrhea and become somebody else.
I read that when they brought him back, they were supposed to bring him back as Todd, but they changed their mind and created this whole new character called Austin. And I think they did that because they knew they wanted to put him with Maxie. And I already told y'all there was no way that I was going to be accepting Todd Manning and Maxie Jones. And I still don't accept Austin and Maxie because his ass is still Todd Manning and she's still little bitty baby Belle Black. And I just can't ship them. I won't do it. I refuse to do it.
Wait, Belle Black. Oh, right. She did play Belle Black.
Kristen Storm was, aside from being, Xenon girl from the future on Disney, she was the original teenage Belle Black.
Forget how old. She's so much older than me.
I wasn't gonna take it all the way back to Xenon, but I don't want.
Hey.
I don't. Todd Manning was out here raping women when Xenon was just being a little starlight in the heavens. I'm never gonna ship that couple. I don't understand.
I think it's weird.
Good idea. They don't even match.
And that just proves the point that Lumi was saying, they're tone deaf. Like, they should know by now that it's one thing that soap fans are not gonna do, and that's forget. So you can bring one actor from one soap to another soap, but they're not gonna forget the stuff that he did when he was on that soap. So it's like not gonna blur no lines. It's just gonna be like, I'm not gonna like him just like I didn't like him on the other soap. Just like the character from God and Light is now on Young and the Restless. Everybody loves him on the God and Light.
What, Josh? I think he played Josh on God and
yeah.
Light, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, that was Josh Lewis.
I don't have any hate for him as I think playing Ashland. My irritation is right now is for Victor. I just want Victor to shut up. Let your daughter make a mistake and leave her alone.
Victor, I'm sick of Victor. Right now, I'm rooting for Diana to rain destruction on a number of people in Genoa City because they're getting on my goddamn nerves.
I'm not even Diane. I never liked her, but at the end of the day, because I didn't watch when in her heyday, I was an infant, in her heyday, so I didn't really catch up to any of that stuff. So I had my mom had to speed me up on who she was when sometimes, and I was like, okay, well, she doesn't seem too bad. Why are people hating on her so much, other than the fact that she just died and she came back and she forgot her kid on the way out.
She's a sperm stealer like Ashley Abbott. I don't understand how Ashley can sit in eye of her either. Girl, we did the same damn thing at the same damn time.
I never did like Ashley.
Not to mention the fact that Diana actually did Ashley a favor, because if they hadn't done it at the same damn time, Ashley would have ended up having Jack's damn kid.
Wait, I'm sorry. Ashley stole what?
Okay, the great sperm switch of the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a mess.
Well, she stole the condom out the garbage. What she has to do?
No, apparently meant. Here's the thing. You know how I said before that Carter needed to just go freeze his sperm if he was really that concerned about it. Well, the minute Genoa City had a bit more sense. Jack and Victor both froze their sperm and parked it at some banks. So Diana was going. Her intention was to steal Victor's sperm, but Ashley stole Victor's sperm and switched it with another sperm.
No, ma'am. It's just that. No, ma'am. Nikki Newman.
Oh, Nikki was the one. You're right.
And switched it with Jack's sperm because she didn't want Diane having Victor.
Had no kids by Victor.
This is correct.
Nobody having Victor's kid. That's why he ended up having a vasectomy and freezing his little swimmers because Adam Newman is fucking lucky to be alive because Nikki was trying to shut down every baby that Victor made with everybody else. She hated Sabrina, and Sabrina and her baby died in a car accident, so she didn't have to deal with her.
It's funny to me because I liked her more than I like Nikki.
Adam is the one that survived. So that's why they hate Adam because he is Victor's child, but he's not Nikki's. So Nikki switched the sperm, and then Diane stole the sperm that she thought was Victor's, but it was Jack's. And so she came back to town with this baby talking about, ooh, Victor, I got your baby. You gonna have to, give me some respect now because I'm your baby mama. And he was like, I'll be damn the devil if you do. I'm going to need a DNA test. Back then people got DNA tests. They got the DNA test and Victor wasn't the baby. And so Nikki had to come forward and tell the truth. And everybody was mad at Nikki. They forget that in the beginning. They was mad at Nikki for playing God with people's lives.
Just so Diana wouldn't have Victor's baby. Right. And Jack, and also because here's the thing, that meant that Jack was the one who got stuck with Diane for the rest of their lives because she had Kyle.
Right.
So
she named that little boy Victor the Third or some shit. She came back to town talking about Victor was like, he ain't my junior. You better check the test, bitch, because that ain't my baby. And then about the same time, Ashley ended up pregnant, came home pregnant, and told everybody that she had a tryst with a man on a cruise ship, and that's why she was pregnant. We didn't know that she stole Victor's sperm until much later, after Abby was already here in the world, and we found out that Ashley stole Victor's sperm and made herself a baby, but she was telling everybody a man named Christian was the baby's daddy. And Brad didn't know, but Brad was happy to raise that little girl as his own. He the reason her name is Abby, because he was like, well, just you want to give her a name that connects her with the family. And it was gonna be Abby Abbott, which is stupid. So she was Abby Carlton.
But wasn't it supposed to be like, okay, so I'm confused because like, wasn't it supposed to be, I thought Abby's dad, you said was Brad. Yeah, Brad was her dad. I thought he was the dad.
Brad was her adopted dad.
Her adopted father.
And she found out that Brad was her daddy because Ashley made that videotape when she had cancer and thought she was dying, where she told all her business about how Victor was actually Abby's daddy. Abby's probably, that was when little Darcy Roseburn, she was so cute. Little Darcy watching the video and she's sitting there. And then the next thing you know, you see her in the scene with Victor. She's like, Mommy said you're my daddy.
Right. Ashley thought she was dying, so she recorded a video. Well, she had cancer, but she thought she was going to die. So she recorded a video that Abby wasn't supposed to see until she was way older, telling her that Victor Newman was really her father. Right. Well, Abby didn't die. Ashley didn't die, and Abby saw the video anyway, and then it was out.
But it was so innocent because she was just a little thing. She didn't really know what she was watching. No. And when she told Victor, she didn't know she was dropping a bomb on everybody's life. All she know was Mommy was on TV and she said, you my daddy. Like they was at dinner or something or having lunch or something because Victor used to always sit and talk with Abby because she was such a precocious little girl. And she just sitting there with her doll, just as like you asked her what color the sky is. It's blue. She said, my mama was on TV. She said, you my daddy. I don't know.
Oh my God.
They was messing back in the Old City, but that was back when Young and the Restless actually let shit happen.
Right.
What happened to the messiness? Like, they don't do nothing on this show anymore.
You know what pisses me off about this show now is that, so based on the previews, Naya is having another health crisis. And instead of us seeing it, Imani is telling Amanda, I talked to my dad. Our mom isn't doing well. Can we not see y'all go see your mama not doing well? Why we got to hear about it? Y'all made all this hullabaloo about casting this woman in this role. And now we don't get to see her. We hear about what's going on with Naya.
That's the problem with media these days. They telling you instead of showing you, and they forget that that's what you're supposed to do, show, not tell.
Right. I don't want to hear what's going on. This is the third time she's had a health crisis that we've heard about that they didn't show us.
Exactly. And then instead, the only interesting thing happening right now is Diane being back in town and all these other people just completely losing their damn minds and going stone cold crazy. Because honestly, at this point, Phyllis and Nikki both sound like they have lost their minds to a certain degree.
I just need Ashland to stop.
Oh, this Ashland shit is getting on my nerves.
Yeah, I need Ashland to stop acting like he's weak. He needs to. I need him to be like he's Victor, the second coming. You know, he needs to hurry up and get his balls back and go back into the office because I'm getting sick and tired of him. Like,
well, if the spoilers are any indication, all of this is gonna blow up in Victor and Nikki's face as usual because now Victoria wants to take down Newman, and Victor is going to be working on sabotaging her, and that entire story is getting on my nerves because all I really want out of it is for Adam to realize that he's being played, and for him to just figure out a way to screw over Victor. That's really all I want out of the whole story.
I want him to collapse Newman Enterprises on the way out, you know. And also, I don't know. I have my irritation. I just don't like Nikki irritates me these days. I can't stand Nick. And Victoria, she's just plain stone stupid. And I just need literally something to happen. I want messiness. I like the only thing that was messy that came out and it was beyond stupid was the whole Devon Abby sperm donor weird thing going on, you know?
Well,
Talk about that.
Lord, we don't ever need to revisit that again. And the only thing interesting that's happened so far on that part, first of all, they stopped with this baby business with Dominic. Thank goodness they could send that child to boarding school. Okay, we don't need to see him no more, no time soon. The only thing interesting happening in that quarter is that this whole entire this bullshit story with Chancellor Winter is boring as hell. The only thing messy about it is that it's quite obvious that Devon still is not over the fact that Nathan slept with Elena, because that's why he been treating Nathan like a little bitch, and now they're gonna probably end up being at each other's throats because they're both working inside the same company of which Devon is a part owner, since he technically owns the Winters half of it.
But Nate,
See, I've been from I'm sorry, go ahead, Doubles. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, but Nate is a little bitty bitch because, dude, you don't even know nothing about business. And they had an outline that needed to be stuck to keep this tight. Your ass that went so far off the rails, they just looking at you like, what in the whole fuck? Like, you sat up there and messed everything up. Like, sure, people
I'm laughing
now, but what the hell is you doing? You know what? Take your ass back to the hospital because
I'm laughing because Lily and Devon apparently thought that the family all working together was going to be a good thing. To which I'm laughing my ass off at, because why don't you look on the two sides? Why don't you look to the north and see how things go down at Jabot, and then look to the south and see how things go down in Newman, and tell me how great it is to work with y'all family. Y'all should have known better.
We just sat there and castrated Devon and his money to put him back. Okay, so Catherine left Devon all this money so that he could have his own shit in life, and they turn around and take this own shit that he had in his life and merged it right back into Catherine's company.
Which made no sense.
So
but
really,
didn't Catherine leave him money too, though?
Yeah, he got billions, but still, here's the thing. His company did not need to be merged with Chancellor. Why? Why did they merge with Chancellor?
Because Devon listens to every bad idea Lily has.
Exactly.
Like an idiot.
And stuff. He's always done that. Like, he's like, oh, this is my older sister. I have to listen to her.
She could tell me the sky was blue on a sunny day after she killed my wife and baby. I'm sorry. Take wherever your husband at and be done with it. We don't need you in this family no more.
My issue with the whole scenario is that she literally, my issue with the whole Devon and Nate thing is, it's like Devon goes over, tells Amanda, I love you, right? And it's obvious he's not over Elena. It's not just the whole him sleeping with Elena that's bugging him. He's obviously thinking about Elena too, because you had that whole thing where he was standing at the party and then they flashed to Elena as well. So why are you flashing to her if he's over her?
That was the point. To show that all that even though these fools are living across the hall from each other, why on earth they decided that Nate and Elena living across from Devon and Amanda was a good idea? That despite the fact that they want to talk like it's all water under the bridge, it's not. Which means it's only a matter of time before somebody show up and catch somebody in bed this time. It's just a matter of whose apartment they're going to do it in.
But see, my point is, the thing is like, my irritation is that Amanda, she's dumb, because why in the world would you sit here and get with the dude whose wife is I'm just saying, his wife was your dead sister, basically your twin, and you think that that's just a great idea after he's already lost the baby and her, and then gets with the woman, and then the woman that he's with before you got with her, she obviously has insecurity issues because you are a dead ringer for this woman. And on top of all that, she went through hell and high water with his issues. Because let's be real, Devon irritates me a little bit because Elena put up with a lot with his BS, with like literally going through the whole mourning process, whatever PTSD issues he had and everything else. She went through a lot and he never really was a rock for her.
No, go ahead.
And that's my irritation with him. Like, he got mad because she cheated. Great. Okay, fine. You know what? Fair enough. You have a right to be mad. But you need to take and analyze the fact that you were not the best boyfriend in the world. And that's my irritation with Devon. Like, nothing justifies cheating, but at the same time, nothing justifies your stupidity in thinking that you were a good partner.
Well, I'm gonna end up rolling my eyes twice if Amanda get cheated on a third goddamn time, because my first thing is, honey, look, he cheated. The bottom line is this: Elena's cheated on Devon with Nate. Then she cheated on Nate with Devon. This is not a scenario that ends well, and this is not a scenario where these people need to be fooling with each other like that. So if Amanda get cheated, and the thing is, Amanda and him had actually started dating when that crap happened, and everybody let bygones be bygones, because truthfully, Nate didn't feel like, I guess, he had a leg to stand on, considering the fact that he had slept with Elena when her and Devon was still together. So how he gonna stand up there and say something about her cheating? Okay, fine then, because y'all both was dirty. But Amanda had no such excuse. She was a fool. She, as far as I'm concerned, she would have done better sticking with Billy Abbott ass.
I want her with Billy anyway.
And I don't even like Billy like that.
Understand that. I don't understand.
Because they are two opposites, and honestly,
I think they have
Billy and Lily don't have anything.
I don't want her brought down by Billy, because he bores the snot out of me. And if he's sitting there and wasting Amanda's time talking about this damn podcast, I would just want him to die. He can stay with Lily and leave they boring asses together, because if they leave them together, it makes it much easier for me to get past their scenes, because I can't stand either one of them. Like,
to be honest, I wanted Lily to disappear with Kane.
Yeah, she can still go find him. I won't even be mad. She can still go find him, because Billy's still hung up on Victoria anyway, regardless of what he says, talking about this about the kids. Boy, even your mom.
Exactly. You saw. That's one thing I like about Jill, and I will say that's probably the difference of years and years on the show. When Billy was a teenager, Jill coddled his ass relentlessly, and it's partially why he was such a spoiled little bastard. But in his full adulthood, she has no time for that anymore. Right. So I will give her that.
You was doing when you was out here with Glow by Jabot. But up your game, sir. We 30 years later, 27 years later, you still doing this shit? Come on now.
Exactly. You're grown as hell. You got churn of your own. Grow the hell up and stop all of this mess. You heard what Jill said. You know what? I get it. I would think Victoria would have better taste, but you know what? C'est la vie. And Billy looked at her like she was crazy.
I just can't. Billy doesn't bother me. It's the fact that they have brought him down. Like, you could easily get rid of his whole thing with Victoria just by having a woman who's far more interesting brought in, just bring somebody he has chemistry with. But at the end of the day, Victoria's not even looking at Billy. She's not paying attention.
No, she don't care nothing about Billy now. But here's the thing. He locked and tied up behind her. He can say that he's not, concerned about her taking the kids. Taking the kids where, Billy? To another country? They talking about going to the Boise or some shit in New York. That's a plane trip. You got control of a whole jet. You see them kids every other day if you wanted to. If y'all got that kind of gas money for a plane. Like, she's not doing nothing that nobody else who's been remarried with their kids does. She's moving. Like, the whole family has lost their whole damn mind talking about, well, we just can't let Ashlyn take Victoria away from us.
Victoria's a 40-some-year-old woman. Take what away? That's the part that's driving me. This is not teenage Victoria screwing around with Ryan McNeil, who's too old for her and about to take advantage of her. That is not the story we are in. Victoria is too grown for this story.
But see, that's the problem. Like, Victor still treat her like she's dumb. Like, they don't seem to get it. Like, my problem with the whole thing is, okay, somewhere down the line is Victor, before all this whole thing, like Victoria being, like the golden child for Victor and everything, like at first he really did focus on Adam. And then remember, like what was his name? Matt Munahay or something like that was playing Adam originally.
Yeah.
Michael Munahay or something, like when he first showed up, you guys remember those scenes where like he would just come into the office, right? And he would just talk about paperwork, and all of a sudden they would just start yelling at him. This is before he even did anything, before he even started having like bad behaviors and stuff like that. They just started yelling at him, saying, "You can't do this," and you sit there, "You will do what you're told," and all this other stuff like that. Let's be real. They all set Adam on that path of feeling inferior and giving him a complex.
Adam is guilty of the most terrible crime in the world. And no, I am not talking about that accident with Delia. He did not come from Nikki Reed's womb.
And that's what I just said.
Exactly. Bubbles is right about that. The fact that Hope, that woman from Kansas, was somehow, some way able to actually have Victor Newman's baby on Nikki's watch is a sin that will never be forgiven. Nikki was slipping like hell in them days that she allowed that shit to happen, because ain't no other woman, with the exception of Ashley, but them's extenuating circumstances, which technically was Nikki damn fault, but we digress.
Yeah, if Nikki hadn't never went after Ashley when she found out Ashley was pregnant, Ashley wouldn't have had no abortion. Nikki the reason why Ashley had that abortion.
Yes. Nikki spent decades making damn sure that no other woman who lived and breathed in this world gave birth to Victor damn Newman's children. She had her daughter, she had her son, and that was supposed to be it. Adam and Abby was never supposed to happen. Abby technically was her fault, so she has to shut up about that. But Adam, oh no. Adam is that Hope woman's child. And the fact that she let that slip through the cracks will haunt her until to the end of her days. And she's going to make Adam pay for it.
Yep.
Adam paid for it. Why can't somebody make her pay for it? This is why I can't stand Nikki. I don't know why. I'm not a big Nikki fan. Like, I can see why people say that she and Victor are, they're the couple. They're it, but I don't like Nikki. I've never liked her overly much. Back when I started watching it, it was around the time when Sabrina came in, and I liked Sabrina. And honestly, when they killed her off, I was pretty mad. I was like, you know what? That could have been Nikki, and I would have been happy. And I don't care. I mean, people got mad at me. Like, I was just like, I wanted it to be Nikki in that car who got killed. She could have disappeared for a couple years and came back. It's not like doesn't happen in a soap opera unless Sabrina have her baby. But I realized it was the way you're describing, it was never going to happen. Sabrina was never going to have that child, because Nikki is a curse on the womb of any other woman who carries Victor's child.
Exactly. The fact that, like I said, Abby is actually Nikki's responsibility. But the fact that, and trust me, Nikki tried like hell to break up Hope and Victor. Okay, that was she did not want that marriage happening. But even against her best odds, it happened. They ended up getting married, and Hope ended up getting pregnant and giving birth to Victor Newman Jr. Despite her best, and like I said, that's why Nikki is like that with Adam. Forget about all this crap about it being about what Adam did or whatever the hell. Good night, Can. Or whatever the hell it is that he's done all over this time. That's not what his real sin is. His real sin is that he is Victor's child. Victor's son, who's the most like him at that. That's the part that she hates. Victoria is a lot like her dad, but Adam is the other one who's exactly like him. Nick is like Nikki.
Yeah, flighty as fuck.
Exactly. and not really and more interested in doing his own thing. But yeah, that has always stuck in her call, which is why she does not have any compunction about this entire mess of sitting him in the big chair and letting everything go up the hell. Now, the thing that's pissing me off is right now is that because I was paying attention to the Canadian Day Ahead, we getting more fashion shit at Jabot than we are on Bold and the Beautiful, and this is upsetting my soul.
Well, that's because Jabot just bought a fashion house.
Yes, they bought Marchetti. Well, here's the thing. Apparently, I guess they're trying to sort out something to do with Chelsea since they're not really putting her in. That's the thing with Chelsea. If she's not in Adam's circle, they don't know what the hell to do with her. They can't figure that out.
And they killed Ray.
Exactly, they didn't kill Ray. So apparently, Chloe and Chelsea are having disagreements because Chloe is actually trying to get the fashion line made, and Chelsea is doing this entire mess of my creativity is flowing and I can't be constrained by timelines. And Chloe is like, bitch, what you mean? I'm on logistics. I need you to make deadlines so we can get this shit rolling so that Lauren doesn't dump us since she believes in us. So Lauren talks to Kyle and Summer, and they let her know that they want Chelsea to take Angelina, what's her name, place? As lead design, since Angelina apparently wants to retire.
But you have something to do with Chelsea, which is the weird thing. Like, because she hates Sally. Make them go head to head in a fashion battle.
Well, see, that's the thing that would have actually made a little bit of sense. But since they've taken Sally away from the fashion part of the story at this point and stuck her in the media. First of all, I'm about tired of these media companies because these are not the companies that historically Young and the Restless need at all. Okay, we have businesses, we have a cosmetic company, but we do not worry about no damn media companies. Okay, that's never been the concern on this show. So the thing is, unbeknownst to them, basically Lauren was telling Kyle and Summer that that the preliminary sketches she saw from the line that Chelsea's working on, that she likes them, but that the tone is really different from Marchetti. But the thing is, apparently Kyle and Summer seem to believe that Chelsea can do both. She can do the line for Fenmore's that's very modern and American, but she can also do a line that for Marchetti that actually caters to their, I guess, international clientele, which has a whole different tone. Meanwhile, Chloe is fighting with Chelsea to try to even get the first line for Lauren done, and they're now about to offer her a second line. And I just want to see Chloe and Chelsea blow up so they can let Chloe go do something else other than kiss Chelsea's ass.
That's true, because I'm getting sick and tired of her always mediating for her. Like, it is getting really annoying. Like, Chloe could be doing something way better. Like, I don't know, being, making her own jewelry line for all I care. But at the end of the day,
she used to have whole stories that were about her, but that's been years in the past. They need to try to get back to that a little bit.
She used to be messy.
Yes, she did. She used to be messy.
And that's the problem. Like, because wasn't she like, what was it? She showed up on the scene pregnant, wasn't it? Or something like that. Like, wasn't she pregnant with Billy's baby or something?
Chelsea was the one who showed up pregnant, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because Victor had hired her to, I guess, seduce him after he ran off to wherever the hell it was in the islands or something. Though I can say that, yes, but Chloe also has been pregnant for Billy because they did have, honestly, yes, they did have Delia together because Delia was Billy and Chloe's daughter. And also, honestly, I'm still a little bit sketchy about who's the father of that other child. Because remember, didn't she end up obsessed with having another child after Delia died?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was very obsessed because of the grief she was going through or something like that.
Right. And I know the way that they kind of handled the DNA thing was like, it was kind of like offhanded where she just said Kevin was the father. I just don't remember if we ever actually got a test that said it or not.
To be honest, the way Kevin is, he's not like on the show anyway. They might as well just make it Billy's child and be done with it.
Oh no, Billy don't need no more children. Billy have enough children.
Billy needs a revamp and badly. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot. I'm tired of Billy being like riding Victoria's coattails and like that one connection still being linked to him always. Like, because like let's be real. Like, if she and Ashlyn break up, that's Billy's just gonna jump right back to Victoria, and there's gonna be a go-to. Victoria sit there. Victoria could just be over Billy like very easily, but Billy won't be over Victoria easily. It's like they've made her his crutch, like his new addiction.
Well, that's going to be hella interesting because one thing I will say that Jill made very, very clear today, if Billy blows up this relationship with Lily, who by her stance has been a very good influence on him, she said, and I quote, "I will never forgive you." So Billy blowing up his relationship with Lily to go be a white knight to Victoria is not it. Not according to his mother.
That's the problem with Billy, though. He doesn't care. Billy is destructive. He won't care about the consequences until it's done.
And you want that with our Amanda? I don't think so.
I want Amanda to be messy because she's literally boring. I want Amanda to sit here and actually command an office, rule of people, and sit here and take, stomp on people and take names.
Well, see, this is why I'm not here for Amanda staying in Amani grill. I'm like, let your little sister be messy. Let her take Nate from Elena ass. Yeah. Let somebody do something, because Lord knows you ain't doing a damn thing with Devon, but boring the hell out of me.
But see, you know why I think it's going to end up happening is because she over here trying to stop her sister from being with Nate, and it's probably going to end up her being in the bed with Nate.
Hadn't they already been together one time? Oh, yeah, they started out together.
Yeah, but, she wasn't messy about it. Nothing she did in the entire situation between Elena, Nate, and Devon was really messy on her part.
Exactly. So it's like, that's what I mean. It's like, you have some of these pairings that when you stick somebody with a specific person, sometimes they lose all of their energy. That's how I view Amanda and Devon. She whatever energy she had before she was with him, being with him just sucks it right the hell out of her. And yeah, I get it. Billy's a fuckboy, so 90% of the time I don't want him with no woman because I think he's a curse on pretty much almost every female in Genoa City, and that they never should have made that mess of him and Mac to begin with, and his ass would have been settled and we wouldn't have had all these problems. But that's another story. But yeah, but no, Devon sucks all of the energy out of Amanda.
Well, he sucks all energy into any woman he's with, because look what he did to Elena.
Well, see, that's the thing. I was okay with him and Elena. They at least had some spark. But then she got all insecure over this whole mess with him reconnecting with his wife's twin, and then it just ended up being a damn mess. And I'm just like,
but see, that's the problem. Like I said before, like she was always his rock. He wasn't hers. Like, think about it. The whole entire time when Amanda came around, he didn't really reassure her of anything. He just kept doing what he was doing. Devon is inconsiderate. He can be a dick. He can be a lot of things, but he's just not Elena's rock. Like, she's his. She literally helped him through his grief. He didn't help her through anything. He didn't sit here and stick by her when she needed him. He's just, I don't know. Devon is an emotionally complicated idiot.
He always has been, though. That ain't new.
I don't know. Ever since they stopped letting him be, because the thing is, he used to be a fuckboy too. So
that's true. But they were all fuckboys. So what's the difference?
He dated Mariah, didn't he? At one point.
Yes, he did. He dated. Actually, that's the thing. Devon used to date a whole bunch of women. He used to date Mariah. He used to date Abby. Well, Hillary goes without saying. And so it's just some relationships. It's like when you stick a character with another character, and it's like some people have instant chemistry, and some people they just fizz. My whole thing with Amanda is just too much. Exactly, Amanda should have been Hillary. It was too much like them trying to fix the mistake of killing Hillary in the first damn place, and instead of fixing it, they just slapped a Band-Aid on a bullet wound and told us, okay, see, you happy now, you got your couple back. No, we didn't. That's not who we got back, honey. That's not what this is. That's not how this happened. That is not the scenario. That is not what we got.
Because it was just a whole complicated mess that it didn't have to be. You know, it was, I don't really know. Like, it's funny to me, like, when Hillary was around, I think, yeah, he did date Mariah. And they had pretty decent chemistry and everything. And I wasn't really too bothered by it, you know, them being together. I actually wanted to see if she did end up pregnant instead of Hillary, how Hillary and Devon would have got back together and handled that. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and she's gone anyway, so.
Right. So now they just have these couples that don't work, kind of stuck with each other, and the problem is they don't really know what to do with them. I mean, because the easy thing to do with Nate and Elena, who bore the hell out of me, and because at this point I want Nate to cheat with Imani. I'm sorry, I like Elena, but I need that relationship to end.
I need Nate to cheat with Amanda because I just want to see Amanda be messy. I'm sorry, Imani don't mean anything to me. She's just some person who shows up occasionally.
Nah, I want it to be Imani because Imani messy and she ain't gonna be sorry for shit. The problem with all these other people is they cheat and they be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you and all that. Imani strike me as the chick who gonna walk around in her robe going like, oh, you here? I guess Nate, your whoever this is, I guess she your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend, depending on what's going down. Imani is messy, and the problem is the story needs people who are messy. Because I may have complaints about Bold and the Beautiful and some of the choices that they're making, the lazy ass choices that they've made lately. But I will say one thing: I am not bored with Bold and the Beautiful. They have not bored me almost at all for like a good chunk of this year, ever since whoever put their hand on the wheel got us out of these repetitive scripts and started making stuff happen. On Young and the Restless, it be days and weeks and months of no actual activity. Of no actual movement in the damn story. And it be killing the show. You be like, okay, we just went through four episodes. Over the last 4 episodes, what actually happened? What actually changed? What's different now that it wasn't 4 episodes ago? And 9 times out of 10, not a damn thing.
See, when Adam first showed up and he was messing around like with Nick and everything like that, at least that was drama. You know, I could get behind that. Mostly because Adam always messes with them and, you know, makes them feel uncomfortable. So that's why I can like Adam. But lately, yeah, I have to agree, nothing's been going on. Victor just talks a lot and blows a lot of steam. Victoria's just, you know, still dumb. Devon is bitter. And I don't know what Phyllis is doing. Like, after Jack broke up with her, she needed to just tell Jack to kick rocks. I don't even like Phyllis, but...
Well, I'm having a good time with Diane Jenkins because the thing is, Phyllis is losing her mind. Nikki is not far behind her, and they both probably, and unfortunately, they're both probably going to do something incredibly stupid and regretful that's going to screw up Summer and Kyle's marriage. That's probably going to be the only thing that makes them sit the hell down. Because on paper, Diane has not done anything. But you got Nikki going to get Michael Baldwin, who's actually on good terms with Diane, to go dig around in her past to see what the hell she's been up to while she's been dead for the last umpteen years, to try to figure out somehow, some way to force her out of Genoa City because she decides who gets to stay in GC and Diana just can't. I'm like, Nikki, go ride one of your horses, baby.
I remember when villains used to be villains. You know, we would wait for them to do something before you started, you know, getting on your high horse. Now I just feel like Nikki is that villain.
Nikki Reed is exactly what she had the ambition to become. She is a lady who lunches, and she is also now a lady who tells when they can come, when they can go, and when they can get the hell on from this town. That is what Nikki always wanted to be once Victor took her off the pole, and she has accomplished that goal 3 times fold.
So she is Stepford wife. Good to know.
Well, yeah, basically she's like, look, she's a lot like her husband in that. The Newmans are very arrogant, and they're very used to calling the shots on complete strangers and on people that they don't like. Nikki feels like Diane needs to get the hell on, but the difference is Phyllis has people in her life who are trying to rein her in and get her to stop acting crazy. Summer's telling her, look, I can't be getting too much in the middle of this because Kyle wants a relationship with his mama and I'm trying to be supportive. Jack is like, I cannot have you up in here hollering about how you and I screwed because you wanted to stick it to Diana. Okay, Nikki has none of those restraints because all Victor gonna do is nod his head and be like, oh, you told her off. That's good.
That is true, Steve, and Nikki did forget where she came from. And you are correct, darling. Like, the problem, I don't know. I feel like Nikki needs a fall from grace. But I guess because, like, you know, I don't know, age, time, energy, whatever, it's not going to work. I don't know. It'd be, more interesting to me if somebody, maybe from Nikki's past, when her pole days showed up.
Well, we've had that happen. The thing is, at this stage in the show, Nikki and Victor are the most senior couple on the campus. So they're not worried about doing any, divorces, open marriages, and any of that other crap with them, because Lord knows that's what we spent the entire 80s, 90s, and half of the 2000s doing with Nikki and Victor. Okay, them being together, them breaking up, them being married to other people, them being involved with other people, and it just went on and on and on to no end. So now they're at this point where they're just like they're settled in their relationship. There are no troubles personally in their marriage for probably the first time in God knows how many decades, and they're focusing all their energy on external issues. So, because Lord knows every other year a woman used to come out the woodwork and be a problem in their marriage.
Ugh. That's my problem, though. Like, they're boring and they have nothing to offer anymore. At this point, like, they are the Catherine Chancellor
that's
position of the show,
right? Because technically that's who they're supposed to be at this point. Because we don't have Catherine Chancellor anymore. We don't have John Abbott anymore. We don't have Neil anymore. We don't have many of our most senior classic soap people on Young and the Restless. So them putting Nikki and Victor together as a couple they're supposed to be a matriarch and a patriarch. See, the thing is, Victor is an asshole, but he acts like a patriarch. He acts the exact opposite of Eric's ass on Bold and the Beautiful.
This is
okay.
That's true. Because Eric is just a straight fuck boy. I don't care what anyone says. He's an old ass fuck boy who honestly should be clipped.
He really should. So they're interested in protecting family interest, which really, when they say family interest, they really mean Nick and they really mean Victoria. Okay. Right. That's the thing you have to read between the lines with the Newmans. When they're like, Newmans stick together, they're talking about Nick. They're talking about Nikki's churn. They ain't talking about everybody else. Abby's no problem because she's doing her own thing, so it's not really an issue with her. But Adam ain't nothing but the whipping boy or the puppy child bait that they use to fix things whenever they need to.
Yeah, and trust and believe, if Abby had ever taken an interest in the family business the way that Adam did, she would be just as much persona non grata. But she got her own thing, and she don't care about Newman or what they got going on at Newman. She's more of an Abbott. She's more Abbott focused, more Abbott centric. So they don't really care about what she does. Not since she went around town naked have they cared about what Abby did.
Right. Once the naked contested days or whatever the hell that was she was on ended, and she calmed her ass down, all she did was snipe at snipe at Summer for whatever reason they couldn't get along, and all that other bullshit. And now she's just basically doing whatever. She's got no interest in Newman Enterprises. And the fact of the matter is, I'm still salty that everybody got $500 million out of Victor, but Adam ass.
Well, he got it, but it went to Ashland, and that's what they were saying. Well, it's funny how the amount of money that you paid Ashland was the same amount that we got from Dad. Yeah, he didn't get that money, you dildos. He gave it to the man to rescue your ass from this marriage,
which turned out to be for nothing.
Exactly, because they stayed married, and now Victoria actually got $1 billion from her daddy. Can we talk about that? Because Ashley gave half of the money to Nick's foundation. So then that means that Victoria got 3/4 billion dollars.
Exactly, on top of what she already had, which, and that's why I'm sitting up here looking at Victor like, boy, you stupid. Not only you already had to give each one of your kids less Adam $500 million already, but on top of that, you peeled off another $500 million, and Ashland's still sitting on it, and he made off with your daughter, but you're pissed off at everybody else but Victoria. Boy, you need to get your priorities straight.
What I don't get is Victor's hate for Adam. Like, at the end of the day, that's your kid, and he acts more like you than all the other two little, children that you have. So why in the world are you sitting over here behaving like that? And then on top of all that, Ashland and Victoria could easily come up with their own company and destroy Newman or take it from Victor.
She said she fixing to do, honey. She said this next company ain't gonna have nothing to do with Newman. Ain't gonna have no traces of Newman. I think she's fixing to change her name and drop Newman from it completely. We thought Nick was the black sheep. Victoria is fixing to show up and show out in her black wool outfit, honey.
She is. Because here's the thing, Victoria has been married God knows how many times, but at the end of the day, that Newman was always up in that name, whether she was a McNeil or a Howard or a Hellstrom or an Abbott. That Newman was up in there, but I think that Newman is getting ready to go bye-bye.
That's what she told them. That's what she told her husband. I don't need to have no part of Newman connected to this company that we're about to have. She ain't gonna have nobody calling her no damn Victoria Newman nothing. She's fixing to be Victoria Locke, period.
So basically, what we're probably getting is a new dynasty in this show.
But how long is it gonna last, really?
Exactly, because for one thing, they're not gonna want to do this BS where Victoria and Ashland are supposedly in New York while everybody else is back in Wisconsin. They're not going to want to hack that for long. They're going to want everybody on the same canvas in GC. So apparently something's going to happen at some point that's going to make them go back to Genoa City instead of staying in New York. We just don't know what. And it's going to bore the hell out of me because because here's the thing. I don't give a damn about Victoria's business ambitions. I don't give a shit about Victor bumping Adam's head. I just want Adam to figure it out so he can get the hell out of there with something for himself and tell his daddy to go kiss his ass, because I'm sick of this. Because this has been carrying on for over a year. Ever since Adam decided to hand over his damn kidney to Faith to try to make good on trying to, be a Newman and, care about the family. He's been sitting up there with his daddy, bumping his head against the wall all that time, and I'm sick of it.
Mean things, he proved he was better than the rest of them. They sure as hell wouldn't give him a kidney.
Well, they wouldn't give him a kidney or nothing else.
Like I think
they would let Adam die. His mama's not there to champion for him. They would let Adam die if he needed a kidney. Y'all know that.
And yes, true. And that's also the main thing with Adam. The worst thing that ever happened to him was Hope dying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the only person who's ever been in Adam's corner after his mama died was Sharon. And even that's kind of toxic, but he ain't never had nobody. His mama was dead. Mm-hmm. And then people ran rimshot over him. They brought him to town and they treated him like trash. And that's why he's like he is right now. Because they did it to him, just like y'all said before.
He never should have killed his mother. It would have been good scenes to see him, Nikki and Hope going at it.
Ooh, I would love to see Hope wrap Nikki upside the head with her cane.
I know, because Hope was always quiet as hell, and she couldn't see nothing, but she knew how to put somebody in their place when she wanted to.
That was our
True.
Well, you guys, it's about 30 seconds from 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this up since it looks like we won't be getting a show tomorrow. I guess we'll play it by ear and see what happens.
I'm sure we still have a reason to chat, but yeah, let's play it by ear and see what goes down.
Exactly. So y'all have a lovely night.
You guys have a great evening. Night.
Good night.
Now, you guys.
Good night, our compadres over on Facebook as well. Not Facebook, YouTube.
Good night. Thanks, guys. Good night.